Now let's look at the elements that make up an individual page in the sitemap view. So first of all, I have all my sections here, and if I go into my layout, I'm going to see that there's a match between the sections. So it's designed that way. So if I were to rename this, for example, like top menu, then you're going to see when I go back to my sitemap that that's now called top menu. And I can actually click and edit the name right from here as well. I can rearrange these, and these will be rearranged in the layout. Now, if I hover over any of these sections, I see a couple options pop up. Of course, we have the rename little pen, which I just showed you if you want to rename that. And you also have this little edit icon that pops up. So if I click the edit icon, it's actually going to pull me into the layout on that section that I can just start editing it immediately. But if I click in the blank space when I still have the little hand icon, then I can see some additional options. So I can delete that section, I can do a quick view, and that way I can view what this looks like without actually having to go into my layout. And I can also add a section below. I can change the status or the color marker for this. So if this is like in progress, for example, I can now mark that in progress. And if I click on that, I can also rename these. So one common use case for this could be different names or different things we need to do. Like, let's say we need to write the copy. I might make that pink, and across my project, anything pink, I know, okay, that needs to write the copy. Or maybe this is for Angela to work on. So I can tell Angela, hey, everything that's pink, go in, and that's what you need to work on. So that's kind of how I might do that. Now, the other thing is I can add a comment. So if I add, for example, a comment here and post it, now there's a couple places that I'm going to see that. So if I go over here to the top left, I can see whatever page I'm on, I can see all the comments that are existing on that page. And if I go into the layout, I can also choose to show the comments, and I can now see this comment here that was added. And if I make additional comments, that'll show up on the sitemap, of course. And by the way, I click over here on the left to actually be able to add new comments, but let's go back to the sitemap. So that's everything I can do with these individual sections. Now, what else can I do on this page? I can regenerate the entire page. So I can just put in an AI prompt, and it's going to completely regenerate not just the sections, but also the entire layout for that entire page as well. Now I can click this three little dots, and I have some options. I can duplicate, I can put the page on hold. I can also, again, collapse or expand all of the elements underneath that. I can also delete all the sections and content, or delete the children means like all the pages that are underneath that in the hierarchy. Now, when I hover over the page, I also have the option to do a quick view. And again, that's just a way to see the layout. I can also mark up here the whole page as whatever status I want, if I want to use statuses as well for my pages. And down here in the bottom left, I can also collapse or expand everything below that page as well from there. And I can also, of course, enter the layout or go to the design for that page. And last thing is I can click here and I can rename that page.